set of priorities we live by determines our destiny.
Words have got the power to change and transform people.
When we understand something differently, a ripple effect happens in our energy.
Hi everyone, I am so happy to be here. These are the typical questions I get asked, right? I do a lot of social media training. How often should I post? What budget should I use each week? How many platforms should I be on? Is Instagram right for my business? How do I beat the algorithm? What if I'm getting clicks but not sales? How do I install the pixel? What webinar tool should I be using? So, of course, I can answer these for you. Most of the coaches in this room can answer them for you. But Google can also answer these for you, right? What Google cannot answer for you is this question. What can I do to be successful, happy, and fulfilled? Who asks themselves that on a daily basis? It's a really, really hard question to answer. This is what you should be asking yourself before you then get to those tactics. Because what are you doing? What are you working towards if you can't answer this? That's what I'm going to work on with you guys today. I want you to see that transformation. Would you agree to see dramatically different results, you need to do things dramatically differently? Optimizing what you're already doing, adding more and more things is not going to do it. You need to shift how you're approaching your business. So there are 4 zones you can operate in your life, and actually you probably operate in all of them, if not weekly, probably daily. And these are the 4. There is your zone of incompetence. You're just doing things that do not set you apart, and actually they drain you, they sap your energy. The second is your zone of competence. You're doing things that you can do, but some people do it better, and typically if you're in a job, you're stuck in this zone of competence. They call it the competence trap, right? You're stuck, and you've always been good at it, so you never stop doing it, and then you never evolve. The third is the zone of excellence. So you're really skilled at this. You are better than most people. This is probably something that is related to your brand, probably related to your business. You have honed this skill over time. What I want to do and what I want you guys to do is shift to this zone of genius. So this is where you're in flow. Do you know that vibe when suddenly everything just starts going well? You get up in the morning and your coffee is next to the bed and the bus is at the stop. But this is where everything just happens well for you and it feels effortless. How do you find your zone of genius? Okay, there are 7 questions I'm going to give you. These 7 questions are they're a process, right? This is a process of self-awareness, getting to know yourself, evolving over time, and it's something I work with my students on over time. I'm going to throw these 7 out, and I want you to write down 1 word per question. Don't overthink it, first thing that comes into your brain. Look at your 7 and think, what is the first thing that jumps into your head if I say, why don't you only do these things all the time? Okay, I'm going to guess that it's probably saying, I couldn't only do those 7 things, right? Or like, I wouldn't make enough money if I only did those 7 things. Or maybe you're like, I should probably cross that one out because I need to keep doing that. And this is fear. So Tegan Phillips, she's actually like she comics live events. She's incredible. And she talks about this concept of punching fear in the face. And really, when you looked at that inner dialogue that was creeping up, telling you, I can't only do those 7 things. I can't be in my zone of genius. Maybe not right now. That's this little purple guy. He's saying, just get back into your comfort zone. It's easier there. It's safe there. And really, what is that doing? Well, it's hiding the world from you. It's stopping you from living up to that full potential. It's keeping you in the pre-breakthrough phase, but whatever that phase is for you, it's holding you back. So what are you doing that's holding you personally back and holding your business back? I'm going to go through 4 of the things that you might be doing. And one of them, the first, is called the doing paradox. The doing paradox is where you are doing all of the things. Everyone keeps telling you action drives success, do more, hustle. There's really this glamorization of the hustler at the moment, right? The more you do, the more successful you'll be. But what if you're doing the wrong things? This is the doing paradox. Look at how you're spending your day and how much time you're spending in each of those 4 zones, and your goal should just be to gradually move more and more of your time into that zone of genius and out of that incompetence, competence. Some still in zone of excellence is fine, and a lot of us in business are there, but 75% zone of genius, that should be the goal. Okay, sometimes fear plays out as misdirection. This is characterized by more money, more problems, and what you're actually doing is focusing on your non-revenue generating activities. So, for example, when I started the Growth Academy, the e-learning platform that I run, I thought, why don't I start by launching a podcast? So this is me filming one of my very first episodes, which was super exciting. It was day 6, and I realized, I really, really hate podcasting. I hate it, and I am not good at it. But I had named this podcast the first 90 days. And so I can't give up on day 6, right? I have 84 more days to podcast of my life. And so I diligently did this, but it took so much time, it took so much energy. Focus on what generates revenue. I couldn't fund the podcast either because I wasn't generating anything. And frankly, podcasting, great for engagement, but not a very clear conversion path. The third way that your fear could be playing out is procrastination. This happens particularly on big opportunities. For example, you come out of a meeting and you're like, oh my gosh, yes, they're definitely going to buy. I need to get them that proposal. And then you don't. You're like, I'll just quickly go and have a nice dinner to celebrate how well the meeting went. And then the next day you're like, well, I should probably check in with the team. Like, it was pretty much a yes, it'll still be there. A couple of days later, you're like, why the hell have I not done this proposal? Oh my gosh. And then they've gone a bit cold and you have to start again, not from the beginning, but almost from the beginning. And fourth, the faceless logo. You're running a business. You are selling as your logo and not as you. This might be you if your social posts rarely include you. So it's your product, it's your office, but it's never you, it's not your face, it's not your name. Maybe your customers are emailing you, and this happened to me when I started Growth Academy, and they're saying like, hi, the Growth Academy, I'm having a big problem with my Facebook ads, instead of hi, Lauren, because they didn't know it was me. But who are you going to buy from? You're going to buy from the person. People buy from people, they don't buy from logos. You don't engage on social media with a logo. They need to buy from you, and you need to show your face. This is what happened for me. This is my revenue when I started the Growth Academy. And in February of 2018, I moved from selling as the Growth Academy logo, my Instagram was Growth Academy, to being Lauren Dallas. And my Instagram became Lauren Dallas, my Facebook, my emails, my domain, etc. This is revenue, right? As soon as I was like, this is me, do you want to buy from me? This happened. And this was my very first year in business, and I made 7 figures in this year. I was definitely not on track to do that, as you can see, in February. So where I'm going with this is step out from behind your logo. Punch that fear in the face, commercialize you. You are your biggest competitive advantage, right? This is how you compete. And in fact, your brand is the thing that no one can compete with, right? No one is you. So I think when you think about putting your face out there, right? Using you as the face and the material and the content for your brand, it's daunting. And often you don't have something to say every day, and you don't look good every day. You definitely don't want to put makeup on every day if you don't have to. And someone said to me, dare to be dull. And I was like, well, that's one of my fears, being dull. So no, thank you. But when she talked me through it, she said, if you over-engineer your brand too much, then you become to the point where you are nothing. So there's exercises, and you've probably seen people. They work on their brand so hard, and you can see what they're doing, but there's no authenticity anymore. It's perfect. It's so perfect that you're like, where is the soul, and is that relatable? What is relatable is authenticity. And the reason why I put this up, yes, this was one of my good days, right? I'm on a boat. And then I quickly realized I'm actually wearing 2 different socks in the slippers on the boat. And I was like, that's cool, right? That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me, and it really engaged with my audience. But this is what it's like most of the time. This is what actually being an entrepreneur is like. This is one of my Insta stories at like 10 p.m. at night. talking about the struggle, the strain, the hustle. This is way more relatable because everyone else who's on Instagram at 10 p.m. struggling, typing, working hard, anxious, they want to see this. It's about bringing through who are you, what is that soul, and what is that heart. So you might be wondering, like, that's nice, but how does that actually sell my product? Here are 4 ways. Social content. If you put you out there, the world opens up. And one of the ways it does is that things like live video, and this is on Facebook, Facebook Live, become available to you. Live video gets 10 times more engagement than pre-recorded video. Also, this is free. So that's a bonus, and it's easy. You can do it in half an hour, and rather than needing a production company and whatever else, an editor. I don't even know what it is. I only do this now because it works. Because you're actually having a conversation, right? People are there asking you questions, you're responding. It's the best thing you can do online to connect. The next thing is that you can get really cheap ad leads. Who's designed beautiful banners, copy, and put it out there and it just hasn't performed? And you wonder why. And often it's because it just looks like everything else. There's so much out there, and you can actually, if you go to Facebook ads library, you can search by industry. And this is fascinating, because you can look by your industry and you'll see all of the ads start looking the same. What doesn't look the same is you. So, and you can see some of my results on the right. I'm getting leads for 5 Rand, 10 Rand, 11 Rand, as opposed to something that's really heavily designed for me might be more like 20, 25 Rand. People want to see you, they want to connect with a person. And then you can do webinars. It's hard to do a webinar if people don't know who you are. Webinars are so great for your business, and I know Saj touched on this yesterday. I have one webinar, this one, my Facebook webinar, that generates me over 7 figures in a year. And it's just me talking. But it's because people now know who I am that they want to join and sign up. So webinars will work for you, but only if people know that it's you behind the business. You've built that authority already. You've built that connection and relationship. Then people will want to sign in and hear from you. So this is my zone of genius. Helping people find their own, helping them fight through that fear, but then helping them monetize it. So how do you take that zone where you're going to be happy, successful, and fulfilled and turn it into a profitable revenue stream? And the way I do this is by helping you package up the knowledge that you have, or your skill, your innate you-ness, and sell it. So there are so many ways. You can do workshops, live events, short courses, online programs, memberships, masterminds, affiliates. It's actually endless, but the benefits are also endless. The knowledge business allows you to stop selling one-to-one. You start selling one-to-many. You can create that course. You can package up your skill once, and you can offer it to your customers forever. There's no inventory. There's no fixed location. So if, like me, you had travel, maybe fun, time written down on your 7 things we did earlier, this is a good one for you, right? This is the business model that delivers on it. The current education system is broken. They need you to help. They need you to serve in this way and share your zone of genius. And this industry is going to triple. Thank you.